Thank you, Rachel. Whenever we are faced with a big, difficult task, we all have our own ways of finding a solution. For me, I like to break things down to numbers. Whether that means making lists or countdowns, I look at the world through a lens of numbers. Right now, I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that in about 2 hours, we will all no longer be Jesuit students, but alumni. How the past 4 years happened in what felt like a single breath. I am wondering where all that precious time went. Here's what is running through my mind right now and how I'm trying to make sense of this all. At baccalaureate, Mr. Arndorfer told us the total number of days we were Jesuit students is 13,068. If I were to tell you how many days you were a high school student on Jesuit's campus, that number would be 985. I actually counted each day we were on campus. High school takes up 985 days of your life. That's all you get. Or should I say, that's all we got. Today is day 985. And somehow, over the last 985 days, we got here. We all got here. It was a journey. We may have lost some or welcomed some along the way, but nevertheless, at the end of the 985 days, it's us. All of us. All 309 of us. Day 1 of 985, the first day of freshman year. Freshman year taught us we have a lot of room to grow and that luckily we still have the time to do it. We ran the 12-minute run, avoided circle tables in the lunchroom at all costs, cheered at football games from the very back row, and we even left lunch 15 minutes early to be a part of the freshman migration. We were young and still trying to figure out this whole high school thing. But on day 155, we were challenged to grow up a little. It was the day that many of us really experienced this so-called Jesuit community we always heard about come alive before our very eyes for the first time. Day 155 was Ruby Tuesday, when we poured our hearts into chalk art throughout Hayes Plaza and sang "This Girl is on Fire" at the top of our lungs in celebration of Ruby Gray. Time stopped as the Holy Spirit flooded our campus. Day 155 taught us to care for one another, have love in our hearts, and taught us the true power of hope. Here's to freshman year and learning to have courage, then courage. Day 248, sophomore year. 2 words, friend, frenzy. Thank you, Kari, for that one. Day 492, junior year. With half our days in the rearview mirror and half the days still lying ahead of us, junior year was the time that we, as a class, decided to step up. Academically and spiritually, Jesuit challenges you the most junior year. As a result, junior year is also the year that calls for the most growth, when we learn the most about our world, about our community, about each other, about our relationships with God, and about ourselves. We went to places far from home, like the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua, or places just down the street, like Camp Rivendell and Camp Kiwanis. Through those service trips, we learned that not only do we have a voice, but we learned how to use it. It was time to step up. We began taking leadership positions on our sports teams and clubs, survived the junior paper while also taking on chemistry, sat at circle tables at lunch, and moved from the bleachers to the folded chairs at Mass. We weren't kids anymore. Junior year was the year we grew up. The year was difficult, but also had some of the best days of our high school career. One of those being day 712. Day 712. This was the Monday after ACE, the final junior encounter came home. Meaning day 712 was the first day 4 when we all as a class truly understood what the encounter was about. We learned that love is not something you can just expect. Instead, it is something you have to choose to do every single day. And love is indeed what we do choose. We were ready to become the leaders of the school, and soon enough, we would be. The end of junior year marked the beginning of our final chapter together. Day 4 love, forever. Junior year, here's to you. Day 740, senior year. Welcome to mile 13. We went to our last high school dances, cheered for our friends on their senior nights, and tried to make the most of every last opportunity together. We showed up, came together, and closer the days would wind down and we would get to day 985. And we made it. We did it. Class of 2019, here's to all of the dubious minutes on Membean. Jugs for all of the frayed jeans, to the promised but never received microwaves from student government. Here's to that time of year when school gets out at 2:35 and your 6th period teacher gets mad at you for packing up too early. Here's to the banned water bottle flips, 4-bar Friday, to the lost or forgotten lanyards, and I'll say it, here's to all of the terrible egg jokes none of us ever wanted to hear. Here's to all of it. And last but not least, here's to day 985. Because that day is today. Regardless if you think it was too little or too long, we can all agree that in those 985 days, we fit so much life in. So many important milestones in what seems like forever. And then one day, which I guess is today, we all blink, and it's gone. You're not 17 anymore. You're walking across a graduation stage, wondering if you're about to hug Mr. Arndorfer or just shake his hand. The teacher of the class you barely passed is congratulating you on making it out alive. You come to realize that no, high school was nothing like we saw in the movies. It's all over so fast. And so suddenly, your first day of freshman year feels like it was last week. It feels like 6 days ago, you got your driver's license. 5 days ago, you were walking down Mary's Way. 4 days ago, you were sitting along the Mackenzie River. 3 days ago, you were swaying at Mass. 2 days ago, the bell rang at 2:30, and you were no longer a Jesuit high school student. And yesterday, you lay awake at night trying to process the fact that soon it would all be over. And today you blinked. And tomorrow, it's all just going to be memories. Thank you all for playing such a crucial part in creating those memories over the past 985 days. Jesuit High School and all of you will forever hold a very special place in my heart. As difficult as it is for me to say, it's time for us to end this chapter together and begin writing the next on our own. Bright futures await all of you. I wish you nothing but the best as you take on day 986 and every single day after that.